Oh Lord. Hey folks, this is Chris Crazyhouse, and I want to do just a short report about an article that's been circulating, quoting the actual company of Netflix, and how they stated that they want to make a more realistic version of Teela from Masters of the Universe. That's why they redid her character design the way that they did for the show. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit, and I'll just give my little response to this article. I really don't want to harp too much more on Masters of the Universe because there's so many people talking about it right now that it's become it's like flogging a dead horse at this point. And I really don't want to talk too much more about it until the second half comes out. But I'm just giving you this report based on my perspective as an artist who's worked as a character designer, as well as someone who designs a lot of female characters, and I've done different body types as well. So that's why I want to talk about this. Before I do so, want to let you guys know this will be the final week of my sale on my online store. Get there as soon as you can to chriscrazyhouse.storeenvy.com, and you can pick up my coloring books, comic books, and posters, all on sale now at my online store. The link will be in the description box as well as the comment section. And just a big thank you to those who have made purchases over the last 3 weeks. I appreciate you very much. It does my heart good to see that. And a special thank you to all the black people around the southern United States, because it seems like that has been my biggest demographic over the years, and they have been the ones doing the most purchasing of my work. So people from everywhere from Florida, New Orleans, Virginia, Georgia, St. Louis, and Mississippi, thank you all very much. They've been purchasing my stuff like it's the best thing they can get a hold of, and I appreciate that a lot. So moving forward, like I said, I want to talk about this article that I read. I first saw this on Twitter last night before I went to bed, and that's when I decided I might do a video about this later. We'll see how it goes. And I've seen some other people already jump on it so far, so I'm just want to give my perspective as someone who actually has worked doing this as a character designer and artist. And like I said, I have a lot of experience with drawing women over the years. I worked on a dating site that catered to guys who like big women, so guys who are into BBW. I've worked on a lot of music videos. I've worked on projects that were geared towards little girls, even going on to my own projects like my Naturally Cute coloring book series. So I know about drawing women, I'll just say that. So what Netflix was trying to do, I don't know if they're trying to, put out the fires from all the criticism that's been given to their new Masters of the Universe series. But they said that one of the reasons they redesigned Teela is because they wanted to go with a more realistic, muscular perspective, and they said it was inspired by Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman and The Legend of Korra. Now, anyone who's watched either the Wonder Woman movies, Justice League, or The Legend of Korra knows that those female characters were not muscular. Some of the Amazons were, but the main characters were not. Especially not in Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot is not muscular. She's kind of tall. And for most of us, that was one of the things that we were worried about when we first heard that she was cast as Wonder Woman, because she doesn't have... We were expecting someone to have a little bit more physical... the physicality of the characteristics of Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman can be kind of bulky, or can be portrayed that way in comics. But what I thought Gal Gadot did well as far as playing Wonder Woman was capturing the heart and the spirit of Wonder Woman, kind of like the same way Christopher Reeves captured the spirit of Superman when he played Superman way back in the 70s and 80s. So I actually enjoyed Gal Gadot's portrayal as Wonder Woman, because I think she got the point that Wonder Woman, while she's a warrior, she's also very compassionate about humanity as a whole. And I think a lot of people leave that out when they create that character. But she's not that muscular. Okay, so I don't know what they're talking about when they say they based Teela off of her, because Gal Gadot is not muscular at all. If you look at the character from The Legend of Korra, that's also not muscular. It's a different body type, yes. That's not typically what you see in a lot of, female-led characters that's geared towards children. She had a very more adult teenage body types. It was a little bit different than what you normally see in character design. So I give them credit for that, but that's not what Teela looks like either. This new version of Teela is ridiculous. Is obviously she would have to be like a female bodybuilder of some type, and she looks more masculine than anything else. Just let's be honest about it. Let's not try to hide things or skate over it. You've made her more masculine, and because you don't know how to design a strong female character in the character design department or in the writing, you think the only way to make a woman powerful is to make her more masculine. That's the problem. And they think that they can kind of slide that by in that way. But, anyone who has any type of sense or any type of experience doing character design knows that that's not necessary. You don't have to make a woman more masculine to make her strong. The character of Ripley from the Alien franchise, the first two movies anyway, was very feminine, but she was a strong character. She's one of my favorite female characters. The character in Battle Angel Alita was almost like a young teenager, but she was a strong, powerful character. They didn't have to make her muscular and bulky or like a female bodybuilder to say that she was a powerful character, right? So it all comes down to just thinking, right? And I've seen this when I went on Twitter to look up this article and to look up some things about it. I noticed that there are a lot of people, agreeing with Netflix and saying that this is a more realistic version of a woman, and they were taking a crap on the original version of Teela from the 1980s Masters of the Universe series, saying that body type was unrealistic, that no woman could look like that, and that was only created as a way to sexualize her character so men could, or young boys I guess, could drool over her, which is not true. This is most definitely a realistic body type, even more so because the original Masters of the Universe series was rotoscoped. It was based off of real physical bodies. For those who don't know, rotoscoping is a style of animation where you take actual live action film that's been filmed, or you can take it from some stock footage from somewhere, and you actually draw over it. So that way you can get a more realistic motion. They've been using this technique since the dawn of animation. Disney used it a lot in his animations, and later on it's been, a lot of stuff has been reused over the years. Ralph Bakshi is one of the biggest ones I can name that has used a lot of rotoscoping in his animated films. Most notably The Lord of the Rings, and my favorite of his rotoscope films is Fire and Ice. That's one of my favorite fantasy films, period, but it's just a fantasy film that I just love watching. And you can see all those characters are rotoscoped and drawn over, and it gives the animation a surreal quality when you watch it, and then you have the great painted backgrounds and everything else going on there. But it was that animation technique is good. It helps save money, so that's why a lot of people use it, and that's why they have used it, especially with a lot of 2D animation. So it helps out a lot to get the animation done quickly. And that's why if you watch the original Masters of the Universe series, some of those animations seem like they were repeated over and over again, like a character was running or jumping down and landing on the ground or throwing a punch, or when He-Man would lift up a boulder and throw it. A lot of that stuff was just reused animation that they created from they filmed some actual actors in the costumes, and then they put that onto a board and they drew over it with some pencils, and then they put those to cells. So that's how the rotoscoping was done. And if you look at this picture here, this is the actual actress who played Teela as far as like the body. So you can see that this body obviously is realistic because it's actually based on a real person. And if you put them side by side, you can see this is not some outward outlandish proportions or something that someone just made up in their head. Even look at the two men next to her. You have the actor who played He-Man and the actor who played Skeletor. Their bodies, you can see those and see the type of body types that they have for the men as well. So when Netflix or whoever, and it's usually these people who have no experience with doing any type of character development, or they're ideologues. They have a problem with women being attractive in any type of animated or drawn capacity anyway. They feel that because they can't achieve certain body types, that means no one should be able to have those body types, and everyone has to be at a lower expectation level. That way they can feel better about themselves. They're dealing with their own insecurities about how they look, and they want to try to pass that and use that on other people and impose that on other people and make it seem like people like myself, artists like myself, are not allowed to draw women to look attractive or whatever, as if they don't have romance novels with men with their muscles bulging and their shirts off and stuff like that. But you know, I've already talked about that double standard a million times. But I'm going to ask you guys in the comments section, you guys let me know how you feel about it, about them lying and saying that they're trying to make Teela more realistic. This is definitely not realistic, I would say that. Like, either that's a female bodybuilder or they just put a man in a costume. You seen she doesn't even have any breasts anymore in this new design. I know that she has like that chest plate armor, but to me it's almost like they just took a man and drew a semi-female face over it. You know, I don't know if they're trying to say Teela is transgender or what, but that's the idea that I got from looking at it. The original design is actually based on a real woman with real proportions, so I don't know what they're talking about when they say that wasn't realistic. You folks let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. Anyway, Chris Crazyhouse signing out. Peace.